got 2 seconds for some 2 cents about the Rippaverse? Guys, yes, I know I'm a little delayed on discussing ISOM number 2 with you guys. ISOM number 2, I did read it. Really just not impressed. That's the third or fourth book by Rippaverse at that point. The books are not there. They're just not. And I know the horse guy, he got I think 500,000, some crazy number, which is also impressive. It's great, but return on investment, ROI, that's what we're talking. We're talking bidness today. Eric July likes to talk bidness, so let's talk bidness. Even now, even at the time of this recording, I go on Facebook, I go on Twitter, I go on Instagram, and I see, what do I see? I see advertisements for that horsey book. One of them's been up since I've been talking to you. Horseman, Chuck Dixon, and guys, I love Alien Legion, Chuck Dixon. I love Nightwing, Chuck Dixon. I love Robin, Chuck Dixon. I feel like Chuck Dixon truly expanded the Dark Knight lore in the early 2000s. He's a non-stop veteran. From what I read, even Alpha Core, I get it. You know, like, you write a lot, you get hits, you get misses, but as a veteran writer, Chucky Boy, you know, like, he's a go-to guy because he gets stuff done. That's really what his value is. But I'm not speaking of everything he has done currently. So, you know, there's some correction there if I want to explore that. So, return on investment. I'm seeing these Horseman ads, and it makes me think about when Rob Liefeld talks about how well he paid everyone at Extreme Studios. And he talks about this from observations, that he paid the best. He wanted to pay people very well. He recruited people with $1 to pay them well. So he got, like, George Perez to do work. He overpaid for Stephen Platt. And the list goes on. I believe he even very much, I think $30K for some artwork from Joe Quesada that they used for some interconnecting covers. Like, all of this stuff, right? And I could be wrong about that $30K, but very high numbers, very high and over the top for the day. And you hear about that, and somewhat there's like the artist in you that says, that's great that he did that. That's great that he used his money and his resources for that. It's great that he paid talent. And then you open up the book. And we were even highlighting this on Top Cow Tuesday, our weekly Tuesday Top Cow show. These books, they have, and Rippaverse is guilty, they have like a laundry list of people that they're paying. They're paying designers, art directors, multiple inkers, multiple colorists sometimes, like publishers, and, you know, like, all of these people, and it's a list. So you have the people that made the guts of the book, and then you have the credits page, and that's like a corporation. So that's money spent. And then we have this advertising campaign around Horseman, and no one's really addressing this. The ads are everywhere. That cuts into that 500K. What you're paying Chuck Dixon, we expect that, and I believe Joe Bennett. You know, we expect them. We expect what they're doing to cut into that 500K. But what is the true investment up front to sell that 500K worth of Horseman comics? Because it seems pretty high, and it doesn't seem as much as a lot of you like to proclaim, like to get hyped up about. I get it, you know, like, Rippaverse has fans. They have people embedded, embedded. Can I say that? They have people embedded in the growth of it. We have concepts by Eric July that he puts out, like the parallel economy, which I do agree with. I do agree that is a need, but I also agree with what we see from Rippaverse is not the parallel economy, because quality needs to trump everything. And you really have to make books on par to DC and Marvel, and I would say even like top tier independent, top tier Image Comics. You need a gloss on your books, and you need a little bit of a wow factor. You need a little bit of a jealousy factor in the book, meaning when you're reading it, when you're looking at it, you're jealous that you're not, like, it's just too good, and you get like a little bit angry. You know, this is common even with like good movies and good novels. It's part of the fun of it too. Like you go to the Sistine Chapel and you just like you cry and you scream because it's so perfect. And but we're not getting that from Rippaverse, and we're getting this amazing ROI on the corporate infrastructure, which is clearly seen in the credits page, and advertising. And it's just weird because I really haven't seen a book advertised. And this is me being observational, anecdotal. Uh, I haven't seen a book advertised as high as the Horsey guy. I just haven't. It seems excessive and it seems expensive. If you guys are familiar with how some of those ad rates work, and how some of the click through advertising triggers, somewhat, you can have a bucket of cash that taps into, and until that drains, like your account's over. And it's been quite some time, like weeks and weeks and weeks of Horsey guy advertisements. It seems nuts. We gotta factor that in when we consider what Rippaverse is doing, and we get to do that. We get to do it in real time because social media.